Well, good morning to all of you. I'm not looking at you because I'm in a Sunday morning, cloudy one, in Havana, trying to convey to you a few ideas about the situation in Cuba. This is thanks to the University of Arkansas, Central Arkansas, and especially I have to thank Jane Ann Williams for her kind offer of being with you there. I wasn't able to do it because I lost my passport in Bolivia and it was a mess to get a new one. And there was no time to get the visa, but here I am trying to be with you. First of all, to put you in context of the basis or the scenario we are living in, telling you a few things about the situation of the society, the demographics, and then go to the economy and how is it working and the new economic model, including the problem with the market and the way we use it. Also addressing the education situation to be able to give you a few ideas about how I see the future of the country. I hope this will be of use of the conference you are holding there, and also to the students at the University of Central Arkansas too, that is in a state which governor came to our country, was one of the first who did so and who proved to be really interested in the developments of our country, and I hope I'm paying back to that interest in saying, giving you my words. First of all, I would like to kind of establish a context in which I am speaking, the context of the Cuban society. Our society is a socialist one, but there is an argument, maybe some debate about what socialism is all about, especially in Cuba. Now we have a totally new situation since December 2014 with the diplomatic relations with the USA after more than 50 years of no relations at all. And that is given to the Cuban society, of course, a new perspective in foreign relations and also in our own society. The problem is that we have diplomatic relations, but still there is economic blockade, and that is still a burden, is still a big problem for the economic life of Cuba, and even for the relations, because they are, as you know, in today's world, without trade, trade on equal basis and economic exchange, relations don't mean much. And then the other thing in the new situation of Cuba is what we are calling a new economic model that is being implemented in the last maybe 5-7 years, since 2007, 2008, especially after the Communist Party Congress. But this is being done with the fear of the market, which is, in my words, our own blockade. So we are facing two blockades, one from abroad, from the USA, and our own, because of that fear of the market I'm talking about. Let us move to our society, how I see it. I'd say first what I name the beauty of it. Number one, solidarity. Solidarity is among people is a very well-established value, not only for ourselves, but even internationally. Cuba is very well known all over the world for that, sending doctors and sending professors and sending people to help all the peoples that have been suffering from a catastrophe or simply because of their bad situation in health care and whatever, in Asia, Africa, and Latin America especially. So this is solidarity is still a very strong and well-entrenched feature of the Cuban culture. Then we have safety and security. We enjoy this. All foreigners visiting Cuba, especially from the USA, acknowledge this. It's a very safe country from many points of view. No guns in the streets, almost no drugs, very few, and a very low crime situation. I mean, no killings, nothing big in crime. They're giving us a very, very good environment for enjoying life and whatnot, especially for tourists that can find very difficult situations in many other places of the world. Even places that were supposed to be so safe as Europe or the USA are now considered in a very bad situation regarding safety. And we have to keep that. Education is still free, and I say fairly good. I mean, there have been some shortcomings as of late because of the economic situation and some changes we have to introduce, but still education is very, very, very good and a very important feature, and it's free in all levels. You go and get your degree even, and you still not paying for it. So is healthcare. We are giving support to other people in health because we have the possibility. We have more doctors per inhabitant than any other country in the world, maybe. And we have also another feature I really want to point out, which is we don't have that 1% owing and enjoying maybe 70% of the wealth of their country. That is not such a thing in Cuba. There might be some corruption, but it's a more, a more equal society than in any other country I know of. And the other feature I want to point out is the cultural life. It is very powerful and really one of the features of the country that the tourists enjoy the most. This is the society. I want to say a few words about our demographics that are in a very serious situation right now. It's something of a big concern of the country because it has changed dramatically to an aging society. I mean, elders, people over 60 years old will be 25% of the population in 10, 15 years. And not growing, which is even worse. We have stopped growing, I think, as of last year or the year before. And that's something very complicated for the economy of any society. I won't elaborate much about that. There are many papers on the subject. To go to the economy of the country. First is what everybody's concerned in the society is daily life. It's a very hard situation for the majority of the people. Number one, because the salary the average Cuban receives does not pay even close to 50% of the basic needs of him, her, or their family. This is leading the average Cuban to some uncertainty in their lives, in the projects or plans they have for their life and for their family. And that leads also to emigration. And there is a very negative balance in that for many years, but still going on. And then what I said before about the new economic model, we are embarking this kind of project called a new economic model that won't change what we call socialist basis. I will try to elaborate more on this in a few moments. This new economic model is based, number one, in a kind of shy, what I call shy market openness. I mean, we are dealing with the market, we are trying to use the market, but the fear of it is still too strong. So whenever you handle a tool like the market or anyone with the fear, then results are not good, because you are not really in control of what you are using. And that even creates more fear and less results in the use of it. And a few years ago, I think in 2008, 2009, a bunch of economists were called by the government to produce a proposal for what economic change for this new economic model have to be implemented. And as far as I know from some of them who've been working on this, only 10% of what they proposed was actually included in the plan of the government and the society. Only 10%, as I said, and of that, according to the government official figures, only 27% have been actually implemented so far. It means that of the 100% of the proposal at the beginning, 2.7% is actually taking place. So it's not much what has been done. And this is because the main feature of our economy, which is at the same time the main problem, is still in place, which is centralization. Is something that is still in full command, in full everywhere in the society. And without getting rid of centralization, it will be very difficult to move forward, to improve our socialism. And that is based, as I was about to comment before, because of what I call as a wrong concept of socialism as a no-market society instead of a no-capitalist society, which is what even the founding fathers of socialism said at the beginning. No matter, some of them, including Marx, was also not in good terms with the market. But the market is there, it's a tool, we have to use it. There is no way out of that in any society I know, or we know, or so far in civilization, so we have to use it. It's a tool, we have to use it, and to use it right for our own purposes. So, because of that, we have a growing private sector that is only for services, not at all in production, but in the agricultural field, which has been for a long time here. No production at all, no middle or micro enterprises for producing stuff or goods. So the private sector is actually assumed in the new economic model as self-employment, not actually as enterprises. And you can understand what it means to the economy. The impact is very, very low. Also, a very slow foreign investment flow. Now we were actually involved in the Havana trade fair, which is a very important one, and dedicated to foreign investment, but still is very, very, very small. Number one, because of the USA economic embargo or blockade, which is still in place, that stops many people to invest, which is half the culprit of the situation, but also our own approach to foreign investment, which is, it takes too long and it takes too many bureaucratic steps to be implemented, and it doesn't flow. It doesn't grow the way and at the speed we need to improve the society. So the society is losing some of the society's values. That started to happen during the big crisis of the 90s. We call it a special period, and it's still taking place. No matter that, the society is still holding together as a very stable and safety country, as I said before. But it's a trend, and it's a serious trend. We need to improve our democratic system, especially because of the poor debate, both in academic and the social environment, everywhere. We have a solid political system that lacks actual division of power, since one person holds positions in the 3 or 4 institutions of political and economic command. So those structures don't create the contradictions and the debate that really push for society. This leads to a false unanimity that we want to stop, but we don't know how. Lack of debate and contradictions that generate new ideas and deeds that finally create progress. And we need that dearly. And then we still have, unfortunately, the persistent threat from the USA. Though now, with diplomatic relations we established at the beginning, which is the new feature of the scenario we are living in right now, it is, and it works. I don't know if I can say it properly, but it's like a Damocles sword, if I say it correctly, on Cuba. It is still there and it's still punishing us. And a final word about education. I'm a professor, so for me this is a big deal. Education is still free, as I said before, for all, but losing quality and updating. I say, some of us say, that we need a new literacy campaign now on internet and the new technologies. And that's very obvious wherever you go, even in education. We also need some improvement in this value and also something that needs education, which is entrepreneurship. We need it. We lack people with courage and knowledge and will to really push forward. And not only in the private sector, as everybody understands this. It has to happen also in the state sector, which has to be because of our socialist foundations. It have to be also there, and we have to let it happen there, the same way. And as a professor at the university, I call for a firm culture of learning and sciences that needs just resources and more freedom and space to develop. What kind of future I envision from everything I said before? Well, I think the future for Cuba is now. It's now or else. We have to work on the future today. Today we have to solve the problems. There is no tomorrow far from here. I think number one goal has to be to keep the genuine social achievements of the country, like free education and free health care, as one of the main things of the society. That's a thing that we achieve and we have to take care of. But to do that, we need to improve our economy. Otherwise, we will also jeopardize those two. We need to improve our economic model that we are trying to develop with the necessary space for the market, the socialist way. I mean, the market, in my view, is a very important tool, necessary tool, but it has to be in the right hands. It's like a knife. It's a wonderful tool that in the wrong hands can lead to disaster. I also understand the fears of many in Cuba about the market, but there is no way out of that. More cooperatives and more small and medium enterprises, private or cooperative. Full independence of the state enterprises, as I was saying before, which is the only way that entrepreneurship can develop there and grow. And a stronger and a modern bank system, which without it, it's impossible to think of a much better and growing economy. Base the economic plan on the macroeconomic leverage, meaning those strings that are at the macro economic level, which is the ones that can be controlled and used at the top of the society, and leave the base with the entrepreneurship and independence to develop. Improve the democratic system, as I said, with stronger and more independent education institutions closer to the productive forces of the society, which is very important. I mean, this relationship between education and the economy and the enterprises. And the same for the research and the sciences. They have to be more independent, more bold in looking for the results the society needs. I think this is what I had in mind right now. I would love to be there with you to receive your questions and be able to exchange with you, but I'm sorry, maybe by email or some other way, Jane Ann will manage to put us in contact. Thank you.